Hello and welcome. Ready yourself for 50 amazing challenges crafted to challenge your intellect. Which season usually has the most rain? Spring, summer, winter. The correct answer is spring. Here's an interesting fact. Spring is known for blooming flowers and rainy weather. What tool helps you find north, south, east, and west? Compass, clock, map. The correct answer is compass. Here's an interesting fact. A compass points to magnetic north and helps in direction finding. Which is heavier, a watermelon or an apple? Watermelon. Apple. They weigh the same. The correct answer is watermelon. Here's an interesting fact. Watermelons are much heavier than apples. What time is it when the big hand is on 12 and the little hand is on 3? 3 o'clock. 12 o'clock. 6 o'clock. The correct answer is 3 o'clock. Here's an interesting fact. This shows 3 o'clock on an analog clock. Which sense do you use to taste food? Tongue, eyes, ears. The correct answer is tongue. Here's an interesting fact. The tongue helps us taste different flavors like sweet or sour. Which animal lays eggs and can fly? Bird, elephant, dog. The correct answer is bird. Here's an interesting fact. Birds are egg-laying animals and most can fly. What number comes after 29? 30, 31, 28. The correct answer is 30. Here's an interesting fact. 30 comes right after 29 in counting. What do you use when your hands are dirty? Soap, glue, towel. The correct answer is soap. Here's an interesting fact. Soap kills germs and helps clean your hands. What grows from an acorn? Oak tree, pine tree, sunflower. The correct answer is oak tree. Here's an interesting fact. Acorns grow into oak trees over time. What is the main ingredient in bread? Flour, sugar, salt. The correct answer is flour. Here's an interesting fact. Bread is mainly made from flour, water, and yeast. What shape do most coins have? Circle, square, triangle. The correct answer is circle. Here's an interesting fact. Most coins are round in shape to roll and stack easily. What part of your body helps you to balance? Ears, hands, feet. The correct answer is ears. Here's an interesting fact. The inner ear controls balance and movement. What do you use to see stars at night more closely? Telescope, microscope, binoculars. The correct answer is telescope. Here's an interesting fact. Telescopes help us see faraway stars and planets. How many sides does a hexagon have? 6, 5, 8. The correct answer is 6. Here's an interesting fact. Hexagons are six-sided shapes. What is the name of the red flower often worn on Remembrance Day? Poppy, rose, tulip. The correct answer is poppy. Here's an interesting fact. The poppy is a symbol of remembrance. What do we call the person who writes books? Author, painter, singer. The correct answer is author. Here's an interesting fact. An author writes books and stories. Which month has only 28 or 29 days? February, April, June. The correct answer is February. Here's an interesting fact. February is the shortest month and sometimes has 29 days in a leap year. What planet is famous for its rings? Saturn, Earth, Venus. The correct answer is Saturn. Here's an interesting fact. Saturn has beautiful, visible rings made of ice and rock. What color do you get when you mix red and yellow? Orange, green, purple. The correct answer is orange. Here's an interesting fact. Red plus yellow equals orange. What food is made from flour and cooked in an oven and often sliced? Bread, soup, pasta. The correct answer is bread. Here's an interesting fact. Bread is baked and sliced to eat. Which part of a plant is usually underground? Roots, stem, leaves. The correct answer is roots. Here's an interesting fact: roots grow underground to absorb water and nutrients. Which day comes between Wednesday and Friday? Thursday, Tuesday, Saturday. The correct answer is Thursday. Here's an interesting fact: Thursday is between Wednesday and Friday. What animal lives in the Arctic and has thick white fur? Polar bear, zebra, panda. The correct answer is polar bear. Here's an interesting fact: polar bears are built for the freezing Arctic with their white fur. What is the name of a young cow? Calf, lamb, kid. The correct answer is calf. Here's an interesting fact: a baby cow is called a calf. What is used to help you see in the dark? Torch, clock, mirror. The correct answer is torch. Here's an interesting fact: a torch, or flashlight, shines light in dark places. Which of these is not a fruit? Carrot, apple, banana. The correct answer is carrot. Here's an interesting fact: carrots are vegetables, not fruits. Which of these animals can fly? Bat, frog, snake. The correct answer is bat. Here's an interesting fact: bats are mammals that can fly using their wings. What does the heart do in your body? Pumps blood, stores food, creates bones. The correct answer is pumps blood. Here's an interesting fact: your heart pumps blood to all parts of your body. What color do you get by mixing blue and red? Purple, orange, green. The correct answer is purple. Here's an interesting fact: blue plus red equals purple. What do we use to listen to music quietly? Headphones, ruler, shoes. The correct answer is headphones. Here's an interesting fact: headphones help you listen to sound privately. What's the name of the stick that helps you point on a computer screen? Mouse, keyboard, charger. The correct answer is mouse. Here's an interesting fact: a mouse lets you move and click things on a computer. Where do we see traffic lights? On roads, in bathrooms, at schools, The correct answer is on roads. Here's an interesting fact. Traffic lights control vehicles at road junctions. Which tool is used to hammer nails into wood? Hammer. Screwdriver. Saw. The correct answer is hammer. Here's an interesting fact. A hammer is used to drive nails into hard surfaces. Which sense lets you hear music? Hearing. Touch. Smell. The correct answer is hearing. Here's an interesting fact. We hear music and sounds through our ears. What is the name of a group of stars that forms a picture? Constellation. Planet. Comet. The correct answer is constellation. Here's an interesting fact. Constellations are star patterns named after animals or myths. What does a farmer use to plow a field? Tractor. Bus. Scooter. The correct answer is tractor. Here's an interesting fact. A tractor is a machine used on farms. How many minutes are there in an hour? 60. 30. 100. The correct answer is 60. Here's an interesting fact. There are 60 minutes in 1 hour. What is the smallest coin used in the UK? 1p. 5p. 10p. The correct answer is 1p. Here's an interesting fact. The 1p coin is the smallest value in UK currency. What do you wear to see underwater? Goggles. Helmet. Scarf. The correct answer is goggles. Here's an interesting fact. Swimming goggles protect your eyes underwater. Which day is the first of the week on many calendars? Sunday. Monday. Saturday. The correct answer is Sunday. Here's an interesting fact. Sunday is usually the first day in a weekly calendar. What color is a school bus in most cartoons? Yellow. Red. Green. The correct answer is yellow. Here's an interesting fact. School buses are often yellow to be easily seen. What do we call someone who paints pictures? Artist. Driver. Nurse. The correct answer is artist. Here's an interesting fact. An artist paints or draws pictures. Which animal uses its trunk to drink water? elephant, giraffe, monkey, the correct answer is elephant. Here's an interesting fact: elephants use their trunks to grab water and food. What helps keep our body bones in place? Muscles, eyes, teeth. The correct answer is muscles. Here's an interesting fact: muscles hold our bones and help us move. What shape is a slice of pizza usually? Triangle, square, circle. The correct answer is triangle. Here's an interesting fact: pizza slices are often triangle-shaped. What do we call a person who works in a hospital and helps doctors? Nurse, driver, pilot. The correct answer is nurse. Here's an interesting fact: nurses take care of patients in hospitals. What month comes after August? September, October, July. The correct answer is September. Here's an interesting fact: September is the 9th month after August. What's something we blow up at parties? Balloon, biscuit, shoe. The correct answer is balloon. Here's an interesting fact: balloons are filled with air or gas and used for decoration. Which of these is a source of heat? Fire, ice, fan. The correct answer is fire. Here's an interesting fact: fire gives off heat and light. What do we wear to keep our neck warm in winter? Scarf, watch, belt. The correct answer is scarf. Here's an interesting fact: scarves are wrapped around the neck for warmth. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. Stay tuned for more exciting content, and we'll catch you in the next one.